Hello, Brave Awakened Ones. This is Veronica, Lady V of HigherRealmHolistics.com. Empath, intuitive, certified holistic integrative health nurse, children's book writer of How the Caterpillar Flew, A Journey of Self-Discovery. It's an awakening book for kids. Was #1 in Amazon. New book in rhyme and release, something like that. December 2018. Available worldwide. And I also have my merch, which is currently just available in the U.S., but God willing, before the end of the day, it'll be available worldwide. I'm working on a new store. And thank you, my supporters, subscribers, and great thank you to all of you wonderful people who went and signed over for Saving Gen Z, which is my new channel, where I'll be covering breaking news and in-depth stories that affect Generation Z. I am a mom. My daughter is Gen Y. My son is Gen Z. And I also have a granddaughter who's 2. So, and nieces and nephews who are they're all Gen Z. And the attack has really ratcheted up towards Generation Z. And I feel very compelled to expose a lot of it, play a part of that, and also cover human trafficking. As we know, a couple of really big human trafficking rings, and the largest child porn ring in the entire world, which was based out of South Korea, was busted. Okay? It was a 23-year-old who ran it. And not only was he busted, but people who helped create the content, and was like, he had points, anywhere from 3-month-olds and up were getting molested by their own parents. A ring of parents in the Philippines were busted. They were molesting their children and selling them for money, selling the porn for money. Now, I know a lot of you can't stomach this. Okay, a lot of you are, you're light workers, and that's fine. Like I say, I am a light warrior. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The difference between light worker and light warrior. Warriors are gritty. We're the boots on the ground. We get our hands dirty. Okay, we expose the things and do the things people don't want to hear about or know about. Whether you're a light worker, you don't want to hear about this gritty stuff, or whether you're just you're a normie, not just whether you're a normie, a muggle, you don't want to hear about this gritty stuff. Okay? I've had so many people tell me, oh, don't talk about that, the child trafficking, and that you don't need to talk about it. It'll be okay, just put it in God's hands. Okay, you know what? It's all God. And in order to pass the test and get up to the next level, we have to be able to look at that, not just look at it, but help those heal who've been involved in it, help pull them out. Not all of us are made for it. Okay? I'd be remiss to admit that the first 3 months that I worked at that adolescent psych facility, I cried. It was very traumatic for me. It opened up a lot of old wounds that I went through because I was horribly abused growing up, all the way up until the age of 23. My uncle broke 3 of my ribs when I was 23. I woke up with him on top of me. I'm going to flat out say that. My daughter was right next to me. She's the one that saved my life. I was living on the 3rd floor. That little creature, he picked her up, threw her through the TV in my bedroom. Okay? Broke the TV with her little body. She was 2 years old. She ran all the way down I said, run, get help. She ran. I said, get my sisters. I was living on the 3rd floor. My 2 sisters were living on the 1st floor. That little creature made it all the way down to the 1st floor and got my sisters to come up, and they had to break this vase that was 5 feet tall over my uncle to get him off of me. Broke 3 of my ribs. Okay? And you know who let him into my apartment? My mother. Because I was renting from her, and she stole my apartment key from my older sister's key ring. and she let my uncle into my apartment at 6 o'clock in the morning to teach me a lesson because she was upset because she found out I did a swimsuit calendar. I was wearing a one piece, by the way. I'm not the one who told her. My daughter, unfortunately, put the calendar in her diaper bag to show, hey, look at mommy. My mommy's so beautiful. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I'm saying it because there are people out there who went through that and worse. Trust me, worse. You know, I know a lot of you have very sensitive ears, so I'm not going to talk about it here. I will talk about it in Saving Gen Z, that's for sure. So if you're brave enough to see what's really going on under this world, what we're really cleaning up. Not everyone's meant to clean up that mess. Not everyone is meant to face that mess. It's those of us who had to brave it and go through it in order to clean up a bloodline like I had to, and many of you out there had to. You know, we're made with tougher stuff. Okay? We're the ones meant to come out of it, because when I did the group counseling, that's the number one thing I used to tell the kids. They're like, oh, you don't understand. I was like, oh, really? I don't? Well, here's my story. And their minds would be blown. Do you know how many kids I helped just by sharing my own story and being open and frank about it? It's like, okay, I'm sitting here holding 2 degrees. You don't have to be what they say you are. You don't have to turn into your abuser. You know how it felt because we had a school on campus when these kids would, I felt like crying. There was this one boy, it was my heart. He came and his body was he was 17. His body was so riddled with scars from what he went through. And that was the foster home who was brutalizing him. Okay? And he had his little Bible that he showed me. And he shared that with me. And he said, this is the only thing keeping me alive. Can you pray with me? There are times that me and the other nurses would punch out. I'd come from my office that was the other side of the campus because I was a part-time counselor, part-time employee health nurse. So I had my own office in the executive suites. And I would come punch out and stay with these kids and pray with them. So don't you tell me I don't have a good soul, okay? I'm able to face the ugly. Just like Jesus went into the camps where the lepers were, and they were like, no, you can't go there because you're Yeshua, you're this, you're that, you're above them. I'm not above them. I'm not above going into the trailer parks and helping find the body of a brutalized and raped 3-year-old underneath the trailer, buried there because her mother sold her to her drug dealer boyfriend. Okay? I'm not afraid to do that. And it's going to take people like me, as well as the other ones who, whatever, live out in the forest, live out, up in the mountains. Yeah, you know, if that's what you're supposed to do, to hold that energy. But you can't ignore what's really going on. You know what your role is. My role is to play both. And here I am. And for those of you who are going to ride with me, you ride with me. All right? That's the way it goes. Now, a few, whatever, were upset because of the Elijah Cummings story that I posted. He died, and I posted that very, very early in the morning. I get these news feeds, these special news feeds from Miami Herald, and that's where I got the report from. So, and you guys know, I went to the Miami Herald special roundtable meeting about what's going on with the Epstein case. There's a lot going on, a lot that's going to break out, and I'm going to put that first video out today. Maybe I'll try to do 2, because I have editing and all this stuff to do for it, and intros and everything. So I'll get that out because there's a lot of breaking stuff that I was privy to and that I am going to share. So with that, and that is important. I can't just ignore and it'll go away. We have to keep working on it. Okay? The higher vibrating earth isn't going to just happen on its own. It must be built. There's no fixing the old. It's cleaning the old out and building the new. And guess what? Yes, I am happy Elijah Cummings died. Okay? If you guys remember in my NRVs, a couple of them, I mentioned exactly how they were going to start going and the exact wordings. And guess what? The exact wording I said was exactly the words that came out of his wife's mouth. The exact words. From a long-suffering illness. Exact words. Long-suffering illness. Okay? And yes, Mr. Elijah Cummings, as a very young man, he walked with Martin Luther. He walked with Martin Luther King Jr. He did. He was beaten and brutalized on that bridge. Yes. Selma. Yes. I was all about him. Until I was like in my early 20s when I started doing some research. Because I would write letters to him, and even though I didn't vote, not American, there were certain people I supported, send money, until I got a whiff of what was going on in Baltimore, which I did a long time ago, in the 90s. Okay? Didn't take long once he got into office for him to be corrupted. Unfortunately, that happened. And he's been corrupt for a very long time. And he destroyed a city. Rat infested. These people living in squalor. All for him to pad his account and his family's account. He's extraordinarily corrupt. Just like he passed away from a long illness, and McCain passed away from a long illness, there's a lot of them that are going to pass away from long illnesses. Am I upset that they're gone? No. I'm happy and I'm freaking celebrating it, because that is just another check mark as to our hard work. Like, yes, okay. I will not cry over those who have been oppressing and destroying and keeping us in hell. The old system must die for the new to be built with the higher 5D energies. It must be built. It's not going to crop up on its own. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who say they're awakened and ascending, but are still very, delusional. I mean, really, you really think cars aren't going to be here anymore? Or supermarkets? Or it's going to... Come on. 5D must be built. Those of us who have master builders like myself, or even back up the builders, it must be built. It cannot be built. You cannot build the new on top of the old. The old must be eradicated. Exposed and eradicated. Like I said, like I've been saying, this last quarter, it's all about that. And if it just started, you can't handle it now, what you're going to do by 2020. It just started when the real ugly truth come out. Right now, it's just undercover. And those of us who are in the know what the real deal is. But wait till 2020. I'm not kidding when I say it's going to be a real ugly hot mess. Think of an abscess. Look it up if you don't know what a freaking abscess is. A real deep, ugly abscess. How it has to be drained. And you have to go all the way deep down. Sometimes it's CT guided or ultrasound guided. You got to go in there. I know, because I did it. So you got to go in there. You got to really dig out that abscess. It's deep, but the person will never heal. Your body will never heal, never be well. You'll always be infected until it's completely clean out. And we inject this sterile alcohol in there. And bleach, too. Medical bleach. Yeah. To clean it out, to kill the germs. It hurts. It's awful. It stinks. And I remember the last case I did. Our ultrasound tech, she threw up in her mask. I was smart. I put double mask, and the first mask is down, and then I take 2 alcohol pads and I put on top of my nose and I put another mask. So I'm just sitting there, putting the anesthesia, doing my charting. I'm all cool. Then I just hear, blah, blah. Unfortunately, the guy died. his abscess was just ridiculous. It was all the way down the hall, man. She threw up from the room, the suite, the surgical suite, all the way down the hall. Even the doctor. At least he didn't throw up in the room in his fast, but she did. Everyone's like, yo, where's V? It's like, yeah, she's still in the room, just doing a thing with the patient. I was like, I warned y'all. But that's how bad it is. That's how horrible it smells. 3D was hell. 3D was hell. They got you fooled thinking hell is outside of here. No, we've been in hell. We came to clean hell up. And some angels turned into devils. You got to stomach it. Do I agree with people, using the P word and saying, people are punks? No, I don't agree with that. And I do delete those comments. I don't believe in that. But also, you got to be able to stomach the truth. And it's about not me being involved in politics. I'm calling out the real bad ones because, he's not high up on the pyramid. But he's like, he's a good quarter way there, Mr. Cummings. And he's like on the same level as McCain was. And now the Biden is gonna go, and Obama is gonna go too. What you gonna do when Obama goes? He's gonna go. He's a real bad one. Him and Big Mike. Okay? Wait till the Clintons go. And the horror they win. That, I'm gonna pop a bottle of champagne online, even though I don't drink champagne. I'm allergic to it. I'm gonna pop a bottle and celebrate on that one, okay? I'll take some Benadryl. I'm gonna pop a bottle when the Clintons finally get it. When they finally are exposed. And their hell on earth kingdom that they created, especially in my country, Haiti, goes down in flames. I'm going to be very excited. Okay? So let me get back to work, guys, and I hope to God get it out today. I did not go to bed until past midnight yesterday, okay? So I did some timeline jumping today. I was like, I'm getting up at 5. The minute I got up, I was like, whoop. I was like, whoop, put right back out, and I was on some freaking low probable vibrating timeline on a boat, and the world was covered in water and everything like that. They're still trying to get me to give them energy. I came out of it. I shattered that timeline, brought it down, had to go. It's grimy work, y'all. Grimy work. All right? Not for everybody, but that's okay. But, just don't get in my way of me doing my work, which that'll never happen. All right? Lady V out. If you haven't yet, go in my community page where I posted the link for my new channel. Subscribe. It's I gotta remember. Saving Gen Z. If you just type it in, it didn't come up. All this nonsense came up. All right, Lady V out, guys. We got the victory. All right, bye.